The member of the High Council of Prosecution, Bujar Sheshi, whom the Democratic Party implied was a former state security co-worker, has categorically denied all charges, and according to him, it is an intended attack on justice reform. The Interior Minister and Minister of Education will report to the Media Commission on the situation created by student protesters and opposition MPs, and have asked to hold a Sunday interpellation for Sandor Lleshaj. Democrats expect Albanians to join massively on the February 16th protest to tell Edi Rama that his time has finished. Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Monday, the 28th of January, 2019. Welcome to the English edition of Aura News. My name is Oliver, and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the country, translated into English. The member of the High Council of Prosecution, Bujar Sheshi, whom the Democratic Party insisted was a former state security co-worker, has categorically denied all charges. According to him, everything is meant to be an attack on justice reform. The Independent Qualification Commission will hold a special meeting to decide upon the procedures, while the Tirana prosecution has launched their own investigations. Bujar Sheshi has stated that the charges are aimed to hit justice reform. He stated, "In my opinion, this ordeal is not just intended to be a strike against me as a form of revenge because of the issues that I have represented as a prosecutor or the opinions I have expressed as a member of the High Council of Prosecution regarding the criteria that candidates must meet for a general prosecutor, but I think it is aimed at striking and increasing the pressure on the whole institution of the High Council of Prosecution. This has occurred in the final moments of establishing SPOC and the election of the general prosecutor. The report on the filing authority and the declaration by Prosecutor Sheshi will be an object of investigation by the Tirana prosecution. In a media address, the central body of the indictment has uncovered all communication he has had with authorities to review the files in this case, but also those of other candidates. At today's meeting, the High Council of Prosecution has decided upon the dismissal of Prosecutor Tom Data, as well as urging the Magistrate School to accept the candidates for the 25 other prosecutors. It has been determined that the new commission is served as an instrument of power. At a media outlet from the Blue headquarters, MP Ekeled Ali Bey said that it is obvious in this case involving Doni Caprella. According to him, before deciding on Doni Caprella, the Independent Qualification Commission should have verified from the security cameras whether or not Doni Caprella met with a member of the vetting process, Valbona Sanjaktari, during November and December, and if Doni Caprella is part of file 339, caught on audio taping with Astrid Avdullahi. The case of the prosecutor of the Serious Crimes Prosecution is confirming that the Independent Qualification Commission is an instrument in the hands of authorities to keep corrupt prosecutors and judges in the system. In Doni Caprella's file, there are documents that prove that millions of lek of her property are unjustified. Even her husband is suspected of money laundering. The international monitoring operation made a commendable effort to shed light on Prella's illegal activity, but the Independent Qualification Commission was ordered to retain other corrupt, blackmail politicians and bribes within the system. The Independent Qualification Commission has had the responsibility to enact a full verification process of the chief prosecutor of the Serious Crimes Prosecution. A corrupt prosecutor with links to organized crime cannot give justice. Vetting authorities have the responsibility not to allow a prosecutor with unjustified wealth and special links to organized crime to have authority over the most important structures in the fight against organized crime and corruption. Opposition MPs at the Media Commission have accused Prime Minister Edi Rama and the Interior Minister Sandor Lleshaj of violence against students who have isolated themselves within the university faculties. For this reason, the opposition has submitted an interpellation for Minister Sandor Lleshaj. Albana Vokshi stated, "Let me vote on the proposal made by myself and Mr. Vokshi to summon tomorrow in an urgent meeting the Minister of the Interior for the violence that has been exercised on university premises." Allegations by MP Vokshi were followed by high-level debates, even resulting in insults, as was the case for the Socialist MP in the Vlorë region, Vilma Bello. As deputies of the majority, we call upon the Prime Minister and the Minister of Interior to stop provocations, leave the students alone in their right to protest, do not provoke, called Vokshi. In a reply against the proposal made by the Democratic Party, the majority submitted an interpellation for the Minister of Education, Bessa Shahini. The Socialist Movement for Integration Party demanded during the commission an increase of student representation on university boards. The initiators asked for a deadline of 1 week before discussions in order to examine it with their stakeholders first. One thing did not go unnoticed, that two former ministers, Kumbaro and Nicola, who did not speak out on the issue of students or higher education. The director of the Albanian Power Corporation, or KESH, has been replaced. Benet Betsi will replace Agron Hetoja as director. This is another move that the new Minister of Energy and Infrastructure, Belinda Baluku, has done within the past few days since her appointment in place of Danian Gjiknouri. Until today, Betsi has headed the Albanian Development Fund. A few days ago, under the orders of Prime Minister Rama, Deputy Minister of Infrastructure and Energy, Enis Aliko, left his post. In his place was appointed former Deputy Ilir Betja. Likewise, the Director of Transmission System Operator, or OST as it is known, resigned after a scandal was published with the company DH Albania, which had earned the contract to build on the new Ring Road project as a tender, but is now under fire for furnishing fake documents. Meanwhile, the head of the Albanian Road Authority, Arsh Afrim Chandro, was dismissed from the duty. This is in addition to the head of Durrës's Port Authority, Afrim Bakaj, who was earlier fired from his position. On February 16th, according to the Democratic Party, Albanians will unite to tell Prime Minister Edi Rama that his time is over. On the 28th anniversary of the establishment of the Democratic Party of Vlorë, Deputy Chair of the DP, Edi Paloka, called for massive protests to forge a unity against the current government in power. He stated, "All Albania will be in the square in Tirana to show this arrogant Prime Minister that his time is up." According to Paloka, February 16th will mark the start of the last session for the socialist government, and Democrats say that tomorrow they will offer the country the best governance it has had since learning their lessons. Despite those mistakes, we are completely different from those who rule today, and tomorrow, beyond any doubt, we will offer Albanians the best government they have ever had, said Paloka. The ceremony united senior Democratic Party officials who took the time to underline the right options to move forward and serve Albanian citizens. One day after the denunciation by the Democratic Party, the Socialist Movement for Integration Party, through the chair of the parliamentary group, Petrit Vasili, requested the dismissal of Chief Prosecutor Arta Marku, alleging that she has violated the law by proposing the prosecutor, Bujar Sheshi, to the High Council of Prosecution. According to Petrit Vasili, Marku did not expect the dossier authority to answer for the prosecutor, leaving the Council of High Prosecution in the hands of people without integrity. Today, Arta Marku has clearly misused her important duties as prosecutor, which has produced catastrophic consequences for the creation of a new justice institution, which has been made by people whose integrity has not been seriously looked at. An immediate dismissal of Arta Marku will be the only answer, not only out of respect for the law, but also out of respect for the citizens who believe that this justice reform is more defective than what we are leaving behind, said Vasili. Vasili also demanded Marku's penal prosecution, stating that the general prosecutor would remain as much as possible on duty and likening it to what he considers an assassination against justice. The famous Albanian writer Ismail Kadare celebrates today his 83rd birthday. The President of the Republic, Ilir Meta, took the time to openly congratulate the writer, considering the pride of his contribution to Albanian letters and thought. The Albanian nation is fortunate enough to have such a worldwide creator, a unique and unrepeatable personality dedicated to Albanian literature that made it precious, valuable, and readable in over 45 different languages. I wish him many congratulations, health, longevity, and more success in his glorious creations, posted Meta via Facebook. In addition to the President of the Republic, the Prime Minister of Kosovo, Ramush Haradinaj, congratulated the writer on his special day, stating, "Through the culmination of his literary work, Ismail Kadare universalized Albanian history. Thanks to the power of his word, our writers made known the essence of the truth and the right of Kosovo." Haradinaj ended by stating, "We Albanians are lucky people who have such a worldwide writer representing our identity and values. Happy birthday. We all wish longevity to Ismail Kadare." And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join me again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Vlorë News, thank you and good night.